Hey guys, this is Harvey. Just wanted to let you know that this episode you're about to listen to has very questionable audio, and that is because I forgot to format the SD card of the recorder that I was allegedly recording onto, so I fucked up and didn't get any audio from the microphone. It is 100% audio from the mic set on the camera. Which is unfortunate. It sucks. What are you going to do? You live and learn. Screw-ups are going to happen, but the podcast will come out on time. So, it sucks mostly because it's a pretty great episode. I really enjoyed recording it. It's good. The content is good. So if you can stomach the unfortunate everything about it, you're in for a treat. So God love you. Apologies. We'll fix this for next week. Thank you.
Good morning, Slop Nation. Welcome to Slop Shop. This is a new podcast hosted by myself, Harvey Mulvihill. It is about the happenings of the internet, and it is your one-stop shop for slop. This is a remote episode. We are shooting this at the ranch in my camper. This is kind of a test run for next week. Next week is going to be the chaos episode. There's going to be, I don't know how many people piled into this thing, into this here camper. We have a group of friends going to see Louis C.K. in Austin, Texas, and then we're doing the Comedy Mothership and a couple of other key Austin venues in the birthplace of comedy, Austin, Texas. Looking forward to that. Should be a good time. Louis C.K. is, and probably always will be, my favorite comedian of all time, my goat. He's the man. He's just he's one of those people, one of those artists that has never released anything of subpar quality, in my opinion. I think literally everything he's ever put out, from specials to shows to movies, they've been quality. They've been great, especially his comedy specials. He's one of the few comedians on the earth who has never released a bad special, in my humble opinion. I've talked about this before, but I was trying to do at one point in the past, a Louis C.K. specials ranked video, and there's just no possible way to do that. There's no possible way to rank them, and there's also no possible way to add any insightful commentary. It is simply just it's just me putting my favorite things in order. Do you guys like doing that? Do you guys like making numbered lists for no particular reason? There's a great application on your telephone called Letterboxd for movies that is very helpful for that kind of brain. I definitely have that brain. I like putting things in lists and ranking them. And what is the best MCU movie, you think? And you puzzle it out and you go, oh, I do think Infinity War is better than fucking Endgame by a little bit. Or which Woody Allen movie is the best? And I've already mentioned 2 sex predators on this podcast. Maybe being a sex pest makes you funny. Maybe everyone who is funny is also a oh boy, I don't know. I'm actually not a huge Woody Allen person. I've only seen his Annie Hall that won Best Picture, one of the few comedies to ever win Best Picture. I've only seen Annie Hall, and I enjoyed Annie Hall, but actually, dude, sorry, Dixie, not happening. No, I did Annie Hall. I had to shut it off. It's I don't know, man. Not my cup of tea. It's definitely one that I would like to revisit later in life because of the universal critical acclaim. I just didn't. It did not vibe with me. He is so neurotic and annoying, and I get that that's the point. That's the point. He's a neurotic Jewish man. You can't really just say Jew. You can't call people Jews, right? If you're not one, it sounds hateful. Kind of. He's a fucking Jew. It's not what I mean, but he's like your typical neurotic Jewish stereotype. The typical neurotic Jewish stereotype, like the goat of that. But apparently, he's in his prime. He was cranking movies out like Stephen King cranks out books. He was shitting out 2 fucking movies a year sometimes. So, and they're all, of a similar sort of quality. He's a very nuts and bolts director. He's more of a screenwriter. The strength of his movies are in the screenplay. He doesn't have a whole lot of flair or visual language. visual language to his films. That's not really his bag. Which, I like a visual language. I like it. I like a Denis Villeneuve. I like a Christopher Nolan. I like someone who gives a shit about that. If you could marry those two things in a beautiful, perfect harmony, like a David Fincher, then you're cooking, brother. Then you're freaking cooking. Fincher doesn't write his own scripts, typically speaking, but anyway, this is not a movie podcast. This is a slop podcast. I've been just rattling on about films because that's how my brain works. Love movies in general. But this is Austin, Texas. This is the birthplace of comedy, not movies. And I'm excited to go see some comedy shows next week. Do you guys know Doug Stanhope? Are you familiar with Douglas Stanhope? He is on my Mount Rushmore. He's probably, I go back and forth, but I think he's tied with Norm Macdonald's. He's my sleeper hit. If I could have 5, it would be Stanhope and Norm. But if I, good gun to my head, Stanhope's getting kicked off for Norm, but Norm doesn't have the discography that Stanhope has. Stanhope has like 5 or 6 specials. Norm only has one great special, in my opinion. The Netflix, okay, you could say 2, I guess, but if you're unfamiliar, Norm Macdonald, my beloved, has one incredible special called Me Doing Stand-Up. I don't know when that came out, like mid-2010s or something like that. And it is so good and poignant and beautiful and hilarious. And the issue is that it's so much about death. It is like half of the shit is about death. And it's, you watch it the first time when he's alive and well, and you're like, wow, he's got some really interesting, hilarious takes about death. Man, he's really talking about that a lot, huh? And then you realize that he's just fighting cancer in the background this whole time, and death is on his mind because he is about to die. What are you gonna do? Bummer. But anyway, I think that special is genius and beautiful and unbelievable. Stanhope has several really fantastic specials, but Norm means more to me than Stanhope does as a man, as a figure. All his online content stuff too. So I don't know. Norm is on my Mount Rushmore. Fuck you, Doug Stanhope. You're getting kicked off. But 5th in line is my beloved Doug, and the reason I brought him up is because he taped his most recent YouTube special. If you go to his channel and look at his most recent special, it was filmed at the Comedy Mothership in Austin, the birthplace of comedy. So my brother and I, fun little story, we were staying here at the ranch where I'm shooting this very podcast, and we got real drunk the night before, and we knew this was a special taping, and we also knew that this was what they call a nooner. It started at fucking 12 p.m. The show started at noon, so we had to be up and out, awake at 10 and at the mothership at like 11:15, whatever. All this is to say, we got real drunk the night before, and we were hungover as shit. We were so hungover, miserably hungover. I was like dehydrated, anxious, that horrible anxiety that you get, hangxiety. You wake up and you're just like, fucking Christ, what the God damn it, what are we doing? Why would you do this at noon? And the point of the thing, I think it was like on a Tuesday too. It was like Stanhope, if you're unfamiliar, is a notorious, functioning alcoholic. He's like a touring sort of drifter, genius comedian who has been, in and out of alcoholism his entire life. His mother was big into AA, big into the program, but Stanhope never went that direction. He's just one of those, you go one of two ways as a comedian. You get sober, or you do the opposite. If you're working in bars every night, you're doing one of those two things typically. So he decided to remain alcoholic, which God love him. I mean, he's super high functioning. It's only a problem if it's a problem, and he seems to be doing very well. He's outlived many of his contemporaries. So anyway, he's the best. But the conceit of the show, the special taping, was that like skip work and go get drunk in the afternoon. That was the idea. So drunk at noon, nooner. I forgot what the thing was, but he shot it at the mothership, and Patrick and I arrive at the comedy mothership in Austin, Texas, the birthplace of stand-up comedy, and we are obliteratedly hungover, miserably hungover, just begging for a little hair of the dog. So we get in there and we order right away. I'm like, I'm so dehydrated, I'm so hungover, I'm gonna kill a water immediately and then sip on another one, right? So we both order 2 waters and I think a tall boy, maybe a margarita, some just a little hair of the dog, right? So they bring us instead of just like water that we expected, they bring us liquid deaths. And I was like, these fuckers are not going to be free. And then the tall boy on top of that, right? So not only were the liquid deaths not free, they were, was it 12? I think $12 each. That might be high. I think it might be maybe $8 or $12 each. Something absurd like that. And so we paid for 4 $8 waters, and then each of the drinks were like $16 to $18. So they're so fucking expensive. Our bar tab was absurd for 2 alcoholic beverages. So that like put a stinker on the fucking thing. The experience, everything else in the experience was fantastic. I really enjoyed being at the mothership. It was cool to see. We sit down and we order our expensive drinks, and then Stanhope didn't even have an opener. Which is very him. He comes out and like the first thing he says is why, you know, I've had an opener for 2 decades and 3 decades. He's been doing it so long. So however long he's been doing it, and he's like, I've come to the realization recently, like why do I have to make, why would I like talk words in a microphone? Why would I force my audience to sit through 20 minutes of worse comedy before they hear me? That's pretty funny. So he just came out and started ripping, and he's the best. I noticed right away that this is a special taping, and there were no cameras anywhere visible. No people, no cameramen, no people holding. That's odd. This is the first special taping I've been to, but as a camera guy, I do know like you're gonna have some people walking around with big old rigs on. None of that, zero of that. And so the second thing out of his mouth after the opener comment was, I've heard, Rogan told me this whole place is wired to shoot, so I don't need camera people. I didn't need to hire any of them. So this is it. This is going to be the special. And he just launched into his material, which again was excellent. Cut to me. You picture this, right? You're me. And you're me, and you're sitting there, and you're like, damn, when is this freaking special going to come out? It's probably going to be on YouTube, because YouTube is the new thing. Like, most comedians are going to YouTube to build an audience organically. That's 100% theirs on their own channel. And they only have to, split the money with YouTube. They don't have anyone, why people are going to YouTube. It makes a lot of sense. And also, you don't have to be approved. You don't have to get your shit seen by a Netflix or an HBO or whatever. So, anyway, I was like, I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel. It's been 6 months or more. I have not heard a peep about the special that Patrick and I were there for. It would be so cool to see, the special that we were there to see taped. And I think he only shot 1 show. Maybe he did 2. It'd be crazy to just do 1 show. But no special from old Dougie Boy. And months, I think literally almost a year or more than a year passed, and nothing came out. And then we got this, they released it, finally. I forgot what it's called. I should have looked into it. And it's very interestingly put together. I will put a little bit of the video in the podcast right now. I don't think I'm going to put any of the audio, but maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe I will. I probably won't. But anyway, the video is cool and smart and interesting looking. And my theory is that the mothership, like most comedy clubs on Earth, are wired to shoot, typical just stage footage. There's a term for this that I'm not remembering. That's not of the highest quality. It's a fucking static shot from the very corner of the room. It's not special material. And I think maybe there was a misunderstanding, or Stanhope saw the footage afterwards and was like, fuck, this doesn't look good. It looks amateur. It looks cheap. And what are we going to do? So he hired this crack team of editors who gave it this really unique, wacky style. They had this whole like set dressing, and they put the special on. They like streamed it through VHS or a VCR and put it like on an old fucking, is it XLR? The old shitter TV. And then slowly pan the camera across. It's like very, very smart and cool and interesting. And that's sort of his MO, that he's going to take whatever he has and make it. I would not have thought to do that. I would have just released it, and I don't know, but he's the best. So highly encourage you to watch that special. You can't see Patrick and I in the crowd, but we are there. And yeah, he's the GOAT, man. Actually, he's not the GOAT, but he's very, very good. Yeah, the term GOAT gets thrown around too often, I think. Don't you think, Dixie Chick? We brought our dogs to the ranch. I was just going to bring Stella, and then my mom came out with Dixie. And Dixie is a delightful pup who I love very much. She's my second favorite of my dogs. Dogs are fun because you can just rate them right to their face and they don't know the difference. You can just say, I like this one more than that one. They're different from children that way. Children will get their feelings hurt if you say those words. Dogs, not so much. Dogs are like, I'm like, yeah, you're just not quite as good as the other one. I'll work on that. Shouts out to dogs. But we brought Dixie here, and she's awesome, but she is a horrible ranch dog. She's really, you need a certain fervor, a certain willingness to bound. I like to bind. I like to be bound. No, to frolic through the wood and the grass, and you need to be taller than a foot tall. And she is unfortunately like 1 foot tall, and her fur just absorbs every pokey object, every fucking briar in the vicinity, like a magnet. She is a briar magnet. And so she obliterates her fur every time we come here. She doesn't have a good time. Her face gets full of cockleburs and like dead snakes and fucking raccoon pellets. And she has a hard time. She has a tough go of it. But we bring her anyway because she's cute and she's great. She's a great car dog. She's very good in the car. That's another sort of important piece of dog behavioral lore. You gotta have a good car dog. This reminds me of a story. So a few years ago, my youngest brother decided to drive to California and then to Chicago and back. He just wanted to see the country and wanted to go see. He had friends in Chicago, but I don't think he had anyone in Cali. He just wanted to get out there and spend a week or two on the open road, on the Route 66 or whatever the thing is. So he decided to do it, right? And my parents deemed it the driveabout, and then forever onward it will be. Sean's driveabout. So he did this big driveabout, and I was mostly unemployed at the time, and I was like, why the fuck am I just sitting at home and doing nothing? I should do a driveabout. And so I get Stella, my beloved Stella, in the car, and she is also a good car dog. And I'm like, I'm gonna start this adventure by camping alone with my dog. At this, like, I think it was like a lake. I live in Dallas. It was probably 45 minutes from where I live, so not less than an hour away. And I was like, I'm gonna camp here for the night, and then we'll figure out what to do. You know, figure out where to go. I got no plan. I can drive to fucking New York City. I can go anywhere I want. And I have a tent in my car. And then I am setting this thing up, and I remember just feeling like, man, whew, this is exhausting work. And I would like put one pole together and then have to sit down on the bench, be like, fuck, man, I must be out of shape. This is brutal. Put one more pole in the thing and like try like every time I stand up, I just get this like massive head rush of like, fuck, just tired, exhausted. And it does not occur to me at all that perchance, I might be very, very ill, extremely sick. It doesn't occur to me until later that night. I finally get the tent set up, and Stella and I, there's a, you know, right next to the lake. So my you know, your idealized version of this thing is that you're throwing a stick into the lake and she's like running, grabbing it, and you're like, yeah, you're just living with your pup on the open water. You're experiencing nature. You're recouping. And meanwhile, I'm just, oh, fuck, man. I do not feel very good. And Stella's like, you know, wanting me to hang out and play. I'm like, whew, brother, I don't know. Picking up a stick and throwing it every time I toss a thing. I'm like, I have to like lay down. And so while all this is happening, I also am just seeing these just pitch black clouds. Just pitch black. Like apocalyptic clouds arrive or come across the fucking horizon, heading our direction. The wind's picking up. It's just like, it's cold all of a sudden. And I'm like, oh, fuck, man. So it's probably like 8 or 9 p.m. and I'm like, I'm going to turn in for the night. I think we're just going to start this thing over tomorrow morning. And so Stella, I have her kennel with me. I've got an air mattress and then this big tent. And so I bring her in, I get her all comfy in her kennel, and I'm on this air mattress, and I have like, you know, a sheet and a blanket. That's what I have. Oh man. And then I fall asleep for, you know, a couple of hours, and I'm awoken to just absurd thunder, comically loud thunder. And it is pouring rain, just slamming against the tent wall, just raining sideways. Insane thunderstorm. And I am freezing, shivering, sick, miserable, cold, sad, just shivering under my little blanket. I remember this so well, where if I get curled up completely into a ball, then I'm warm enough under my blanket. But as soon as I move even a little bit, as soon as I readjust my body even a few inches, you get this gust of wind underneath your blanket, and it's just full body shivers. Freezing. And as I mentioned earlier, it's raining sideways. The wind is crazy, and the tent has this overhang. I bet the best way to describe it is like this it's like an awning basically for rain. So if you got a little porch situation outside the tent, or it doesn't when it's not raining sideways, when it rains from the top, then you get a little coverage while you're taking your shoes off or whatever. That's the idea. The unfortunate part about that is that when there's hurricane fucking tornado wind speeds, that flap just becomes a whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It becomes a whip, and it just whoosh, whoosh. It was so fucking loud. It just slaps the side of the tent, and it echoes. It's like a jump scare, like whoosh. It was absurd. I looked over at Stella, and every time it happened, she would jump, like a fucking. She would get startled, and I would too. And at one point, oh god, I forgot about the other thing. So much shit went wrong. But the other thing is that you're shivering. Your little bones are shivering. Hold on, let me pause and turn over the camera, and I'll pick up the story. So you're laying there on your air mattress. You got your dog in your kennel, probably 5 feet from you. You got the whoosh, probably every I don't know 30 to 60 seconds. You get that whoosh, and so it is impossible to sleep. Impossible. And there would be like you could probably pass the time if you had a cell phone, like a any sort of screen. You could ease your worries with some downloaded YouTube videos, even if you're out in the boondocks, which I think I was, or play a game or something. But I just couldn't. My phone was nowhere to be fucking found. It was just gone. And I think it was probably just underneath my air mattress. But again, you're sick. I'm sick and cold, and so every time I would first you search everywhere under the blanket. You're like, okay, it's not there. Fuck. Okay. And so you reach. Reach a fucking arm out of the blanket and look underneath the air mattress. Just do a cursory sort of search. Nothing. And you pull and so I just have nothing. I have no entertainment, no ability to sleep, miserable, cold, sick. My dog is sad, and I'm like, okay. I'm gonna let Stella. Also, so if I let Stella out into the blanket, into the bed, she'll warm me. Yes, we'll feed off of each other's temperature. We'll survive this night together. Okay. And I did the thing of you half get out, so my legs were still underneath the covers. But I crawled out really quickly and unlocked her thing, and then crawled back in and said, "Come here." She jumped into jumped in the bed with me. And so then we were a team. We were a pair fighting this misery together. She did help with the cold, but I was still I left. Oh, okay. All right, I think I can probably go to sleep. Okay, drift off to sleep. What? I'm like, fuck. So then I kept thinking. I still remember this conscious thought I had. You have to improve your situation. You have to improve your situation. This is unlivable. I have no idea what time it is. It's just dark. I have no way to tell time. Because again, that's another thing is if it was 5 a.m., I could just struggle or hold out until morning. But if it's 2, then I've got, whatever, you know what I mean? A lot more hours to sit there and be miserable. So I just kept thinking, you gotta improve your situation. You have to improve your situation. Okay. We're gonna find my phone. Or actually, hold on. No, what did I do? Yeah. So my first thought was, okay, I can't have my fucking phone. But what I can do is, that bitch Siri will probably still hear me. So I go, hey Siri. So I keep getting louder. My phone has hurt me just now, and yours might have if you're playing this over a speaker. But I kept saying that louder and louder, and I heard her from fucking somewhere underneath the bed, likely. She goes, mm-hmm. You know, that thing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what time is it? She's like, the time now is 3:41 a.m. And I go, oh, fuck, man. So I got like at least 3 hours to sit here and be miserable. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I can handle that. I don't think I can do that. And so I'm like, okay, here's the plan. We're going to get up. It's going to suck. It's going to suck. You're going to get up and like wrap the blanket around yourself. You're going to be cold. It's going to happen. But all things in life are temporary. Pain is but a feeling. Cold is but a feeling. Like you just suffer through it and improve your situation. Find your fucking phone, fix the flap, and then you can maybe get some sleep, right? Like, okay, that's okay. Good plan. Okay. 3, 2, 1. You get up out of bed. And also, yeah, I just remember feeling just like as soon as you stand up, you get your fucking like, oh, Jesus. You're freezing and you're miserably tired, and God, that was a nightmare. Anyway, I did eventually find my phone, and I just I ended up shivering, just fucking taking the pole out of the flap, which helped quite a bit. It wasn't quite as, and then Stella and I snuggled, and we got through the night. But that was a miserable night, and I was so sick, and I just went home the next day. I was like, I want my mommy. I need some chicken soup. I need to be doted upon. What is this fucking driveabout bullshit? What am I gonna cross the country in this state? Everything's muddy. Everything's miserable. Oh God, what a horrible time. So anyway, that was me trying to recreate the the wonderful majesty of Sean's driveabout situation. It didn't work well. What are you gonna do? Also, there are people talking like 5 feet from my microphone, so you might be hearing some background noise. I'm trying to ignore it, but you know, this is it's not my property. It's my family's property. There's gonna be family members here. You guys ever done anything like that? Like just a solo trip? Any solo trip is really interesting. Is of interest to me. I think it's wild, a wild thing to do. But I have a friend who goes overseas by himself. Just like he's like, yep, I'm going to Europe, and I'll be there for 3 weeks or whatever, and see you guys when I get back. And he just like meets people at hostels and makes friends and travels with people that he meets there on the day. It's nuts to me. It's crazy. As a loner, I get it. I do understand that as like as an MO for not having to. Traveling alone is so much easier than traveling with people. But it is nice also to travel with someone that you know, right? Especially a fucking foreign entity, a foreign country. Yeah, so anyway, shouts out to that guy. I won't say his name. Do we have any slop this week to talk about? Let's find out. Oh yeah, so Instagram just made an iPad app for the first time, finally. Instagram, up until literally this week, did not have an app for iPad. Which is so funny to me. I have done this. If you have an iPad, you might know that if you open Instagram, it's just like it's like you get just a little cutout of the iPhone, like the size of an iPhone screen in the middle of your iPad app. Or excuse me, in the middle of your iPad. There's no functionality at all. For fucking Instagram, one of the biggest apps on planet Earth, owned by Meta, $1 trillion corporation. They couldn't piece together how to make a fucking iPad app. Like, it's so sloppy looking. It's unbelievably sloppy. It seems like it's like those. It reminds me of if you know when you have an app on your phone or a game or something, and the developers stop supporting it and stop updating it, but you still have it on your phone, and you open it after after years, and it's just like, it's exactly what I'm talking about, where the it's not, doesn't function natively to your new software, so it's just a little floating rectangle in the middle of your iPhone or Android, but probably iPhone if you're listening to this, because you're probably an American. But anyway, it's so funny to me that Instagram finally got around to making an iPad app. Why would you not have done that before? How long have you been around? When did they start stealing people's business ideas? When did they steal Snapchat stories and become the new story king? They just took the idea, made it their own, and then beat the competition with it. Snapchat is for like drug dealers and pedophiles now, and children. I see. Yeah, there's children that use it, which is why that's why the pedophiles. Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys use Snapchat? I have a very adverse reaction to seeing people just send a photo of their face to 75 people a day with no, just to keep the streak going. Some of my friends, several of which will be on this very podcast in this very room, probably 1 week from today. Yeah, those, I hate it. For some reason, that, like, most social media is cringy to watch, like, when it's not your thing. I heard Dan Soder talk about this on a podcast recently, and it's very true. Watching someone else's algorithm, like watching from behind their, if you're on a plane or something and you're watching someone else go through what you normally do, it's like disturbing. It's gross, because it's not your stuff, it's their stuff, and you just see the mechanics of it instead of the content, or you see how vapid everything is, or how switching from app to app, or just the doom scrolling. When the content is not of interest to you, it's creepy and bizarre thing to watch, right? I recently watched someone in a group chat that I'm in do the thing of they send a message and then it gets like several reactions, and they hold their message to see who reacted to, like who sent the heart, who sent the thumbs up. Ugh! That was so gross to see, because I do that. I'm no better, but seeing it in real life, ooh, that was like, whoo-wee. And another time, very, very similar. I sat behind this guy. I think I might have talked about this on this very pod, but I sat behind a guy at an Astros game. An Astros game, a very, very gay man who was with his partner / husband, boy toy, and he was, he posted a couple of photos of them in their seats on his Instagram stories, and then, God, even just remembering this sends a shiver down my spine. Literally, and with no exaggeration, I would never on this podcast lie to you, exaggerate for comedic effect. No, sure I would do that, but in this case, I'm not exaggerating. Every 3 to 5 minutes, he would pick up his phone, go to his recent, like his notifications, look and just read. He would click on the story, and then read who looked at his story, and then who at the top who liked it, and then he'd go to the next one. Who looked at this? Who liked it? Go to the next photo. Who looked at this? Who liked it? And then he'd go, and he'd put his phone in his pocket, and then 3 minutes later he'd pull it back out, and he'd do the same thing. And like, there's no way it changed. The data changed. So he's just waiting for someone to. It was it legitimately made me sick to my stomach. It was so gross. It was so gross. And again, it's not. I do that. I don't, not to that extreme, but like I'm no better than that guy. Just seeing it when it's not you, it really puts it into perspective. Is my point. Oh God, that fucking guy. Jesus. Yeah. Again, I mean, if you're checking it, oof. I really do. Like checking who looked at your Instagram story is really deplorable behavior that I do. I am no better. I do it. I definitely do that. But it is really gross. It's like fucking jerking off in a mirror. Oh boy, social media, bro. It's really a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. But anyway, shouts out to Instagram for raping Snapchat's idea and giving us stories so we can have that beautiful human experience sitting behind a guy at an Astros game. Dude, I bought a jersey at that game because my friend is an Astros fan and they are wearing jerseys and they're like, bro, you gotta wear a jersey. What are you gonna watch this game without wearing a fucking $85 jersey? I'm like, I don't give a shit. I couldn't care less. And he's like, bro, just buy it, bro. It'll be helpful in the future to have. I'm like, I don't know any of the players. I don't know any of the... Oh, I've heard of... Was it Altuve? Is he one of the guys? Is he a guy? I've heard of that guy. I think I bought an Altuve. Is he on the fucking Astros? Oh boy. Anyway, I bought a fucking $80 jersey that I have worn once. Wouldn't you get... What? Could you believe it? It hasn't come in handy since then. So I bought an $85 fucking jersey that is just sitting at the very back of my closet. Untouched, unused, except for that once. It's like a wedding dress. It is a literal wedding dress. Wear it once, spend an absurd amount of money, and never see it again. Shouts out to the Astros. Didn't they cheat or something? Wasn't that a big scandal? Aren't they cheating bastards? I actually brought that up. I brought that up to my Astros friends, and they were none too happy to hear me say those words. Maybe don't cheat then. Did they get their shit stripped? I don't know a thing about fucking anything. Which is why I should have a podcast. Oh man. Yeah, but Instagram just got the iPad app. And isn't that kind of funny that they haven't had an iPad app until now? MKBHD, Marquez Brownlee. It sounded like I was doing a black voice. It's not what I was doing at all. I was making fun of Casey Neistat? No, it's Will Smith. Okay, so it is a black voice. Shit. All right, well, fine. It was a black voice, but I didn't mean for it to be. Marquez Brownlee talked about this. He actually asked one of the guys at Meta. It wasn't the Zuck, it was some other fucking guy. Why this hasn't happened yet? Because it's really embarrassing. You have to imagine that many people open Instagram on their iPad and they go, huh? Oh, that's no good. I wonder why it's like that. Yeah, and what MKBHD asked him, and he was like, yeah, you've only got a certain amount of resources as a company, and we're just focusing on other things. We don't see it as a priority. Which I get, I guess fair, but would it really take that long and that much resources, that many people, to fix with $1 trillion in your pocket? I don't think so. I certainly don't think so. I beg to differ. So I don't know. Fuck them or congratulations or whatever. You get the Slop Shop seal of approval. I can't wait to use your fucking application. Yeah, James Gunn announced the Superman sequel. It's called Man of Tomorrow. And the image that he used is Superman and Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor in like a big old crypto kit to like a big old mech suit thing. And it looks like Superman is like buddying up with him, or He's like leaning on his shoulders like, this fucking guy. Gay live with him, gay live without him. You know what I'm saying? So that seems to be the vibe. I think they're going to probably team up, or there's going to be some existential threat that they're going to somehow need to team up together for, and then at the end they will have a falling out and be enemies again. That will probably be what happens. But the turnaround time is impressive. I think it's coming out in 27. It's releasing in 2027, so they're about to start production. So this came out fast. I don't know. I think James Gunn is directing again. I don't know if he's writing it. I enjoyed Superman. I enjoyed it. Only seen it the one time. But did you guys like it? Did you enjoy this? Do you have interest in this? The Gundam, which is not caught on. I'm really trying to make that work. Gundam is so sick, man. Because they call it the Snyderverse, which is fine. There's not much of a pun there to be had. Gundam? Come on, dude. That's fucking lit. I'm looking forward to the Gundam. I enjoyed Superman. Had a couple of issues with it. But I enjoyed it. And I've had that Iggy Pop song on my playlist since then. I'm a bug, yes I am. Is it punk rocker? Oh my god, I can't remember. I've heard that song a bunch of times and I can't remember. I think it's punk rocker. I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. It's kind of lame. Yeah, but it's cute, it's fun, it's cheesy, it's supposed to be kind of... Yeah, it's fine. I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. Shouts out to James Gunn, Peter Safran over at DC Comic Studios. I was talking to a cousin of mine who I don't talk to very often last night, and he was talking about he was on a debate team in high school, and that he loves. I was like, do you still debate, topics in your everyday life now as a 53-year-old man? And he said, yes, absolutely I do. He's like, fucking Trump or Biden, or, more pressingly, Thanos versus Darkseid. And this is a guy I don't see very often. And so I did, when like when someone unveils a piece of information about themselves and you go, oh, you're a nerd. You're a fucking dweeb, just like me. Oh, I can chop it up with you. I took you for a sports fuck, but instead you're a comic book guy. Oh my god! And I'm not even a comic book guy, but that type of dude I can get down with. You know what I'm saying? I can chop it up for hours with that individual, someone who is having legitimate debates about, the big bad of Marvel versus the big bad of DC. And I told him that. I was like, well, I'm not a comic book guy at all, but I do, cinematically speaking, the Thanos portrayal was fantastic, and the Darkseid portrayal was not, or was mid. Although I don't know. I'm just talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, and obviously Infinity War Endgame. I'm much less interested in power scaling and who would win in a fight against these two people. I'm much less interested in that, and much more interested in how the movie got made, or the behind the scenes stuff at the studio. The meta stuff interests me more. So I'm much more interested in the fact that Zack Snyder got to make the Snyder Cut. That's fucking crazy, and it was a perfect combination of the fact that Warner Brothers was very hungry for content, it being peak COVID, and also the massive fan outpouring of support, and they were trying to pump out content for their streaming service, which I think was Max at the time, and they had just changed it from HBO Max, and now it's back to HBO Max. So yeah, it was a perfect storm. They had all this footage that was just sitting on a shelf, and they said, "All right, man, we'll give you whatever it was, $100 million to complete your vision with absolutely no supervision. Good luck to you. We did you dirty. We let Joss Whedon rape your baby. We handed Joss Whedon your infant. Not even it was like an unborn child." And he raped her. He raped her. So now we're going to unrape your baby, and we're going to allow you to make it whole, to try again, to birth a new one, because the one that we have is dog shit and everyone hates it and it bombed. And then we look like heroes. Meanwhile, our streaming service numbers go up, so everyone's happy. So I was like, yeah, that's fascinating to me that it actually happened. The Snyderverse, or the Snyder Cut, actually came out and was good. Good. I echo many people's feelings in that if it had ended with the end of the movie and not the epilogue, or if the epilogue was after the credits even, then I'd be much more inclined to give it like a higher grade, but I really think that epilogue just drags it down and it's really bad. But anyway, none of this matters because none of that shit is canon. And yeah, it's as if it didn't happen. Yeah, dude. It's as if it didn't even happen, bruh. Although I can almost guarantee a crossover at some point. Or some of the characters from the DC EU will be brought into the DCU because the fandom is so... They're assholes and they're dumb, the Snyder fans, but they are passionate. And that's who you want in your fan base, is passionate people. There's not a whole lot of passion for James Gunn yet, right? There's excitement. I'm excited. But, that like get in your face or get on Twitter and call you a fucking pussy-ass bitch for not liking a mediocre, punching-filled, exhausting movie, that is only a Snyder bro. Only a Snyder bro is capable of such power. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that new Superman film. I will be sat. I will be there. Opening weekend, I will be there. I was talking about this recently because I have the Alamo season pass thing, and so movies are, I think of it like Netflix, where going to the movies is essentially free for me, but it's not essentially free. It's $20 a month. Yeah, of course it's $20 a month. That's not the fuck I'm saying, bro. Yes, obviously it's $20 a month, but you have unlimited. You get one movie a day so you could conceivably see 30 movies for $20 if you went to a movie every single day, right? But you don't. But what I always tell people is that if you're going to one movie a month, it's worth your money, because a movie ticket costs $20 and Alamo season pass costs $20. So if you're going to one film a month, which I definitely do, then you're in the clear, bro. If you go to two, you're making money. That's how I look at it. I go to many movies. It works great for me. Alamo's close to my house. It's perfect. Shouts out to Alamo Drafthouse. We love you. And they're smart because they know most of their money comes from food anyway. So they're going to have like this, even if they get you in there for $0 or pennies on the dollar, you're going to fucking buy popcorn. You're going to buy the unlimited bottomless popcorn. You're going to get the $8 soda probably. So, I'm trying to make a habit of not doing those things and going in there and just spending $0, just ordering a water, making my waiter hate me, and just sitting there and enjoying my film. However, there is a hidden cost to this thing that no one's talking about, and I'm trying to break down the fucking barriers on this shit. I'm trying to shout it from the rooftops. There are $3 ticket fees fees per ticket that you buy. It's like $3. So it's not a $0 movie ticket, it's a $3 movie ticket, which is still much cheaper, but that's fucking annoying. It's fucking annoying. I hate it. And it's also non-refundable. So if you cancel a movie plan, you're still out the $3, which I've done many, many times. Where you sign up for a movie, you go, yeah, I'll go see a movie tonight, and then something else comes up, and you go, oh, fuck, well, it's only $3, whatever. But that adds up, dude. That's probably happened to me 500,000 times. And it's like $1.5 million, dude, right there. No, it's happened to me a lot. But my friend made me aware of this because I said basically that exact spiel to him the other day when we saw the movie Lurker, which I'll talk about here shortly. He said to me, I'm going to get the season pass thing. Were you aware of the $30 a month model? I said, what? No, I was not aware of the $30 a month model. Tell me. And he says, yeah, it's $30 a month, and you get unlimited, or you can bring a guest anytime you want. So it's basically 2 movie passes, more or less, and no ticket fees. Oh my god! So the way I justify it, or the way that I might do the upgrade, I haven't decided yet. And you'd have to see 3 movies a month to make that make sense, right? Because that's the extra $9 that you're saving. And I'm pretty sure I do that. Yeah, I definitely do that, right? Yeah, I definitely do that. So I'm probably gonna do this. And also, it'd be cool to have a guest pass. You can just take anyone you want. Might be hidden. Dude, it's like a path to friendship. This is like a path to strengthening the bond with my friends. Because I can just call people and say, hey, fucker, what are you fucking doing right now? You know? Instead of just going alone. Like a loner. Like a lurker. Instead of lurking in the back of the theater. Speaking of lurker... just directly stealing the Red Letter Media bit. Speaking of Lurker, have you guys seen Lurker? This is it was marketed as super gay. They marketed it super gay to the point where I would almost call this like mismarketed or queer baiting or something. They're like they're trying to get the gays in there. But it's Guy from Midsummer, which white guy I fucking recognize, and I can't place where I know him from. I looked up his IMDb and nothing was sticking out. Cut to him being a fucking gay porn star. Uh-oh. No, but we have here. Your plot is Midsummer guy, the tall light-skinned dude from Midsummer, and also Gran Turismo is, and also Saltburn. He's having a good go of it in recent years. Shouts out to him because he's tall. I always love. I have a stupid character trait where if a person is tall, I like them more. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. But if you're tall and you're doing something in entertainment, there's a good chance I follow you on Instagram. It's fucking really stupid, but that is what it is. Anywho, so Midsummer guy is a successful recording artist. He's an artist of some kind, and other guy, white twink guy, is obsessed with him. Obsessed to the point where he manufactures like an organic meeting. He does all this research on him and knows exactly what kind of music that inspired him or whatever. And he works in a clothing store, and this famous guy comes in and he plays like a deep cut song on the radio, and famous guy's like, oh shit, like I fuck with this. Who's playing this right now? And twink guy, who knows everything about him, plays it off as if he doesn't know him at all. He's like, oh, do you make music? Or like he just plays it super dumb, and because he knows that's what he wants to hear. He knows basically he manufactures his way into the inner circle of this famous guy. And he is a mega creep, ultra weirdo who is like, he's a gaslighter, he's a manipulator. He just wants to be close to famous guy at all times. And anyone that is preventing him from doing that, or anyone that is competition, is quickly disposed of, or attempted to be disposed of. And it is so uncomfortable to watch. I had real trouble with this movie, and it's not of any fault of the film. I was talking about this, actually, Eureka! This would be a good Letterboxd list. Movies that I had trouble watching because of my own personal misgivings, not for any fault of the film itself. I just have real trouble with secondhand embarrassment. I hate secondhand embarrassment. I hate cringe, and like when I'm presented with cringe, I literally have to close my eyes. I have a harder time watching this movie. I had a harder time watching this movie, unironically, than I did fucking Solo, or what's another one? Serbian film, or something like mega fucking disgusting, Faces of Death. Like, you know, the most depraved of horror movies I can stomach. This blend of faking, it's like he's faking being cool and interesting, and he's like playing a character. He's playing a cool guy very transparently, and I just cannot handle it. I literally had to close my eyes many times. It is the most cringe secondhand embarrassment I've experienced since probably 8th Grade by Bo Burnham, which is that's the king, the undisputed GOAT. 8th Grade by Bo Burnham, LeBron James shit of cringe. I cannot handle that fucking movie at all. I was like a fucking, like a prism, just a physical fucking diamond sitting in my theater watching that film. I could not handle it. And I think it's just it's basically just, it's what I used to do / still do, which is, you know, play the character of a cool guy, or like, you know, pretend like I know what the fuck I'm talking about in social situations, or like, oh yeah, like that type of thing. I think it hurts to watch so much because it is so personal to me, maybe. Because I was looking on letterboxd.com and I didn't see a whole lot of people expressing my thoughts. Whereas with 8th Grade, I remember reading those reviews and everyone was like, holy shit, that was a tough watch. Fuck me, that was uncomfortable. Jesus Christ. I've heard Shiva Baby is similar, but I haven't seen that. I've heard it's very good. I do want to watch it, but maybe I will, you know, if I'm not in a movie theater, I would have walked out of Lurker, or I would have tapped out after 20 minutes. If I was watching it at home, I would have been like, got it. Maybe skip to the end to see what the resolution is, but I just had to close off my senses. I closed my eyes. I looked down. I took a bite of my buffalo chicken tindy that dipped in ranch. I always order an extra ranch. You gotta order an extra ranch. At Alamo, they only give you one. You gotta order a second ranch. It's only like 35 cents, but make sure you order a second ranch. And, you know, I look down and my fucking tindies are gone. My fries are gone. My water looks, you know, I'm gonna have to piss if I drink another water, but just anything is better than watching what's on screen right now because I can't handle it. And again, it's no fault of the film. The film is good. As a matter of fact, I actually recommend it. It's good. It's super claustrophobic. My friend had trouble with it for that reason. He said that he hated the way it was shot, but I didn't feel that way. It's very Safdie Bros, where everything is super in your face. Just there's like one wide shot in the whole fucking movie. Everything is just super tight to the point where they're cutting off fucking their forehead and their chin It's very Uncut Gems that way. So yeah, intentionally, they're trying to raise the tension of the thing and make you uncomfortable, which worked. It fucking worked. I was so uncomfy. I will say though, because when you hear this premise and you hear this, like when you watch the trailer, they advertise it so gay. I forgot to say that. It is not gay at all. At all. There's zero gay shit in the whole fucking movie. Literally none. Our main character is likely gay, or maybe he's just really, really into this one dude, the famous guy, the Midsummer Man. It's unclear, but they never do any gay shit. The Midsummer guy is straight as an arrow. He fucks women. It's very odd. Anyway, yeah, I'm not sure why they advertise it that way. It's very strange because you're gonna alienate people. I don't know. Weird. But anyway, the point is that it ends subversively and interestingly. You kind of have an idea of where it's going to go, and it doesn't go that way. So I was impressed by the ending, and it left a good taste in my mouth. It's worth seeing. It's more of a creepy thriller than anything else. It's more of an anxiety thriller, I think, than anything else. So yeah, I guess shouts out to Lurker. I don't know. I gave it a 3, but it's right down the middle between 3 and 4 for me. But I gave it a 3 because I will never watch it again because of the cringe. The cringe I cannot handle, but everything else is pretty good. So I have no idea how to recommend this to you other than to say, God love you, God bless you, if you can stomach that type of thing, because I certainly cannot. I have real trouble with it. Okay. You guys caught up in the Book of Carol? So it was brought to my attention this week that there's a show, a Walking Dead spinoff, called The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, Book of Carol. Hey, you guys, did you see the newest episode of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol? Oh, bro. Dude, Book of Carol was crazy last night, bro. Book of Carol was crazy. It's wild that they're still making these shits, but that might be the worst name I've ever heard for a television program. Can you think of anything worse? The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol? I want to get that shit tatted, bro. Oh, man. Daryl Dixon, Daryl Dixon is so much better than Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. Carol's a great character, but I really just think the writing is lost. Can you imagine being into the Walking Dead, the Daryl Dixon? They should have put a third "the" in it. The Walking Dead, the Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. That is what they should have. That is peak. That is what they should have done. Shouts out to The Walking Dead. It's wild to me they're still making spinoffs. And I guess they wouldn't still be making them if they weren't successful. So yeah, dude, I mean, just truly, truly remarkable stuff. Shouts out to The Book of Carol. What else have I been watching? Let's find out, shall we? Oh, I watched Lolita, a Stanley Kubrick joint. Watched this with Landon. Shouts out to Landon. We love you. We watched the pedophile movie together, arm in arm, hand in hand, and we waxed poetically about what a beautiful portrayal of our people this is. You know, you need representation in media, and we finally felt represented by this Stanley Kubrick joint from the 60s. No, this is all that I'd heard from this, about this movie is that it's the pedophile movie. It's about a guy falling in love with a 14-year-old. So So that's all I knew. We basically both just had interest in it because it's a Kubrick movie. It's an early Kubrick movie, but not as early as some of his great ones. We were looking at his IMDb earlier. He did Paths of Glory before this, and I want to say he did another one that's also great. Oh yeah, The Killing. The Killing and Paths of Glory were both before this, and both of those are excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Lolita is boring. I think even pedophiles would be bored by this movie. It's fucking 3 hours long. It's just super tedious. Not a whole lot of plot going on. It's basically just our main guy. What is he? He goes to an Airbnb, and the host of the Airbnb is this fucking annoying ass lady who has a hot 14-year-old daughter. And so then the main guy does everything in his power to marry the woman, and then so he can be around the daughter, and then basically just try, bit by bit to get closer to the daughter. And he does eventually end up banging the 14-year-old many times, which is never shown, but it's heavily implied. And they talk openly about their relationship. So it's creepy. It's very creepy. It's one of the most controversial books and films ever. And I think the book is probably more interesting because the book is probably trying to say something about the whole situation. I'm really not sure what the movie is trying to do. It's possible that I'm just not quite film bro enough to fully comprehend the complexities of this child fucking. But it just didn't. What's a great movie that has similar themes? A movie called Happiness from 1998 that I talked about briefly. I talked about this on the who gives a fucking shit when you talked about it, you stupid piece of fuck. Relax, dude. Relax. You're fine. Everything's fine. You're good at podcasting, actually. People like you. Okay, thanks. That's all staying in. So fuck the pedophile movie, it's boring. Fuck pedophiles, obviously, but Happiness is so much more interesting. They improved on this in every single way. They made our pedophile character in the 1998 film a deplorable, savage, horrific, human, which he is. And there's not a whole lot of condemnation of the actions of our guy in the Kubrick movie, which maybe you don't need. Maybe it'd be too obvious. Maybe you're supposed to draw those conclusions for yourself. I don't know. But my main gripe with the thing is that it was boring. You can have a movie about you can have a movie about this subject matter and make it interesting without this is bad, right? You don't super need that, but also you have to make it fun and not boring. Couple of interesting tidbits. The 14-year-old was never shot like a 14-year-old. She was never she looks much older than she is, and she talks like an adult. She's never talking about Roblox and Bluey. She's talking about banging and Chardonnay and shit. And so it does puts you in a weird headspace. Landon was gooning the entire time, which I thought was odd. A little unsightly, distasteful. What are you gonna do? Your friends are your friends. You accept them for who they are. No, we both did not enjoy this film. Both found it boring and not worth watching. Even if you were on a Kubrick kick, you can skip this one. Instead of this, watch Paths of Glory and The Killing back to back. Because they Paths of Glory, Kubrick made when he was 28, and it's fucking unbelievable. It's so great. He made a couple of stinkers before that. one called Wings of Desire that I own, that I will eventually get around to, but apparently it's bad. And honestly, dude, after seeing this, there was so little visual Kubrick language in this movie that I'm like, what are we, if I go back, I figured even in his old boring stuff, there'd be flair and you could see like the Kubrick touches, but I could see very little of that in this one. So I might just get rid of that fucking Blu-ray. I might just frisbee it out my open window. And yeah, anyway, shouts out to shouts out to pedophiles. Fuck pedophiles. Shouts out to Stanley Kubrick, who, God love him, incredible director. I understand he's one of those guys that is many people's favorite director, and I totally get him being your favorite director. He's not mine, but I appreciate him very much. This is the first bad Kubrick movie I've seen, to be fair. I also don't like Eyes Wide Shut. This is the second bad Kubrick movie. I don't know if Eyes Wide Shut is bad, but it's not my cup of jizz. Good thing we got Nicole Kidman doing AMC ads now instead of that bullshit. With that, sloppers, I think I'm going to wrap it up. It's probably a shorter episode, but again, I think we did pretty good amount of time here. God love you, Slop Nation. Please tune in a week from today to see the chaos of a at least 4-person podcast. We'll see how that goes. I think it's going to be in this room. We might do it somewhere else. We'll see. Maybe it's outside. Who knows? The world is our oyster, and I'm looking forward to it. Sloppers, God love you. Thank you for listening. Very much appreciate it. I will see you in a week's time. Bye-bye.